Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mom Boss Maximizer. This is your host, Brittany Burnham, and I am talking today about getting in the rooms. What does that mean? What does that look like? Getting in the rooms is all about with who. With who do you want to aspire to be with? Who inspires you? Who empowers you? Who challenges you? And how do we find those people? How do we find those rooms? So let's first talk about a room that's coming up. Guts, March 23rd. That is a room that you have to be in. Why? Because there's going to be massive impact, massive value. And that can look from your health and wellness. That can look into leadership. That can look into resilience. That can look into your career, your time management, your wealth. There's so many opportunities for this event to take you into the path of where you want to go. It's going to be an epic event. I did not intend on this event to be what now it's going to be. When I first did Guts, it was just mainly hit it with Brit, circle, the community, and it has shifted because I have evolved. And I was nervous and scared to be able to give that and feel judged and perceived. What my internal self-limiting belief was that I'm only good enough for my community, my gym community. And it's taken me a long time to let go of that self-limiting belief and that guilt to be able to say, no, I can expand. I can create more. I can impact more women. I can expand my dreams, my goals. So instead of playing small in my container, I wanted to freaking jump out of this box that I had put myself in for so long and say, here I am ready to give this gift to you because I'm a connector and I love bringing people together. And that not just in business, but in life. I've always been the one with my friends to always organize our vacations, our events. I was the one in grad school who always organized the fundraising events. I was the one, in high school who always had the parties at my house, the spaghetti nights, before the games. So I know that those type of skills that I developed over time since I was young and always a part of a team and part of a community that they've transpired and transitioned to today. So I had to let go of all these feelings that were holding me back and resisting me to saying, I want to be in a room with more people like me. I want to create a room that I used to create, but on a bigger scale. I want to create a room where more women can flourish and empower one another and be vulnerable and be real and be raw and bring out the authenticity that I know is within them. And sometimes it just takes that one person, that two people to really bring that out of them and to give them permission. So here I am giving you permission to say yes to yourself, to say yes to investing in your life, into your career, into your growth, because getting into the rooms is where the magic happens. One of the first experiences I can say that was the catalyst to my growth, to this experience of knowing and feeling what it's like to invest in yourself with getting in the rooms, was Advocare, was my networking company. And they would always say, get your ticket to the event, get your ticket to the event. And when I did the first year, when I Hit It with Brit, so much happened. So much organically happened. And why did that happen? Because I didn't have any mentors when I first started Hit It with Brit. I met my mentors and people who are like me through Advocare. They were the ones that guided me and mentored me because they had the same skills and mindset that I wanted. I aspired to be them. I remember seeing people on the stage and I was like, I want to be on the stage. I want that. I want to make that money because money does not buy happiness. It buys all the things that you want, that freedom, the freedom of time. It helps you, it supports you on those dreams and those bigger goals. So getting in the room with the people that are going to challenge you and that you look up to and inspire to be is what is going to be the catalyst for your growth. And that's why I'm creating Guts. I felt like I hit a ceiling in this past year and a half that I'm like, okay, I am not coaching on the floor anymore at the gym, but I can coach women in so many different aspects of life because now I wear so many more hats and I've developed so much more thick skin and resilience in life that I want to be able to give that to more women and motivate them, encourage them, and give them the permission to say, I can do it too. So that ceiling, I'm just been ready to shatter that mother effing ceiling. And some people might be just knocking on that ceiling. Some of you might just be like lifting up the ceiling and peeking through a little bit. Wherever you're at in your journey, I know that you're meant for more. I know that you want more. And this is the opportunity at Guts on March 23rd to be able to give that to yourself. And this is a small investment. That general ticket is $150 of 16 high-level, high-achieving women speaking. 16. We have, not only that, we have over 50 local businesses who are donating their services and their products to the silent auction, which all those proceeds are going to the YWCA, and then their products or services in every single swag bag. We're also getting it catered. I mean, I feel like I am organizing the wedding that I never had, AKA 2020 pandemic style. Who knows if that will ever happen? But when we're talking about this type of investment is a very low barrier into what potentially could be for you and what it can open for you, the possibilities are endless. And that is really up to you in order to really feel that, because you're not going to feel it until you actually step in the room. The hardest part is taking action. The hardest part is actually pressing that submit button and saying yes to you and then showing up. Showing up, which I love, that reminds me of Tommy Birch. She just always talked about showing up. She's going to be showing up. She's going to be on stage. And I mean, if you didn't listen to her story, go back to that episode with Tommy Birch and seeing where she is now, because she shows up, because she said yes to herself. And she started her journey and her business during the pandemic when she had a newborn. That's so, if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is. But the speakers and the panelists that we have is going to rock your world. You are going to be feeling all the types of feels from I'm ready for this to wow, I need some of that in my life. What I want to also share is when you're in the room with these people, it not only they are inspiring you, those are the ones that maybe make you feel uncomfortable, but those are the ones who are going to become your friends. Those are the ones that are potentially going to be your partners. Those are the ones that you're going to lean into because you're on this new level of growth that some people don't understand and they might not understand. And it's hard to explain that to the ones that you might love, the ones that you work with, any one of the relationships that you're dealing with, and you're going here and they're still here. That's a hard thing to explain. But once you just continue being consistent and persistent in this journey, and you're showing up and showing that, hey, I'm just going to lead by example. If you want to follow me, come on with me. And that's the part about getting into the rooms. You are going to see that once you're in there, it was the best decision that you made. And this is the perfect time, still in the first quarter of 2024, to start to see where this can go. So when we're talking about getting in the rooms, I want you to think about saying no to those old behaviors, those old actions, and saying yes to these new experiences, because they're going to elevate your life. They're going to set you on the path for growth and success. Saying no, period, is a sentence. But saying no and that to things that to old patterns is very hard. I just said in the last episode that I had to make some very hard decisions that I was so afraid. I was fearing like just the giving up. I was fearing the relationships, how it was going to be perceived, the judgments. I was fearing a lot. And once I said no and then said yes to me on what I felt in my gut, it was a completely different experience. It was a completely different feeling. And that was where I said to you, the alignment and the authenticity of when you're finally able to let go of these self-limiting beliefs and some old behaviors and patterns, because patterns are so hard to break. How do you break a pattern? You've heard it takes, I think what they say, 20-something days, 25 days, I forgot what it, 21 days, because that 21-day fix thing, 21 days to break a habit. So what can that look like? That can look even just like getting up every single morning to go to the gym. Something as little as that, if you have a goal or a vision to let go of some things from your past. So if we're talking small things, create those little patterns, those new patterns. But you have to figure that out. And how can you continue that consistency is that accountability. So when we're talking about getting in the rooms, these women are going to lock arms with you and hold you accountable. And that is free. That's free. Post-event, that's the clarity you're going to leave with when you leave these rooms and you develop these relationships with these and potential partnerships that you didn't even know could potentially happen because you're putting yourself out there. You're taking initiative. That's the culture of initiative that I want to give to my team, that I want to give to my kids, that I want to give to my partner, and that I want to give to you, is that culture of initiative. And it might feel scary. That initiative to slide into someone's DMs and ask them a question. Hey, I would love to pick your brain. But instead of saying maybe, hey, I would love to pick your brain, because I do get that a lot, is say, how did you start A, B, and C? How do you manage being a mom to this many children and building this business? Do you have any programs that can help me that are available because you inspire me? These little things that you can do, and then you start cultivating this confidence that you didn't know that you had within yourself. And then you start seeing this and feeling this weird thing inside of you. You're like, okay, I can do this more. That was easy. What's the worst that can happen? And that's the question you have to ask yourself too. What is the worst thing that can happen if you do take that initiative, if you do say yes to yourself?